Um, oh, hi. This is Taka from Governor of Indiana District, and we just finished our boost with Greenwood Club, and we wanted to talk about how the boost went, and I also wanted to have their feedback from their experience. When you heard about we are having boost, what did you think about?
My first thought was the work that was going to be required. Knowing about our club and that it seemed to be a pretty aggressive program. I had my doubts about whether it would actually be effective, and looking at it afterwards, I'm pretty invigorated right now.
Mhm.
It was a good experience. I think it was worth the effort, and I could see to where I know that this was a first time effort, but I think with some tweaks here and there, I think it's going to be a very effective program.
Yes, it energized me, I know. And like Dick, I really was concerned that this would work more because it was so fast. We had only 2 weeks to put this together. And a lot of our members were real skittish about trying to do it so quickly.
Right.
And so that kind of made us nervous. But we went ahead and muddled through. And I thought today was a great day. I enjoyed meeting the KI folks, and I enjoyed their participation in the process. And I felt that they were very helpful in giving some authenticity. I
Right.
guess, I'm not sure that's the right word, to what we were doing. And they were very impressive, and I was excited about the whole thing. I think we've got 3 or 4 new members out of this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Tom?
yeah, I was very skeptical of it at first because I made a list of who I thought might be the 10 drivers, and there was only about 4 of them that actually raised their hand. But I think if we had more time to be better organized, we had better lists. I mean, the list that we basically used was the 2020 list from the Chamber of Commerce. So if we had a more complete list and had more names and things like that, I think, and more time for everybody to digest those lists, I think that we probably could have come up with a lot more interviews than what we had today. And even if we would have had to get some KI people to be the drivers, and one of our members just go with them, I think that we could have had a lot more potential new members.
I think it was.
I think it's a great idea.
I think it was certainly worthwhile. I hope KI thinks it was.
Yeah.
But from the standpoint of a member, a club member, I feel it was well worth our time and effort.
So how did you get the appointments?
I just called people,
So
cold called
you got the
people.
directory and
Yes,
Yeah.
I looked at the list and I thought of organizations that I thought might have someone who would be interested in service, and I just called them. Now, in some cases, I emailed them.
Okay.
And it was what's interesting, the ones that I emailed pretty much ignored.
With a
Yeah.
personal connection made
Yeah,
the difference.
Yeah, I gave my phone number and all that, and they just pretty much blew it off. But I found the people I called and explained what we were doing. They said, sure, we'd be glad to talk to you.
Okay.
So I think that was a better way of communicating.
And Dick, you said you had a lead from Facebook?
Yes, the international office put an ad specific to Greenwood. They went out to Facebook users in Greenwood, and there was an option that they could pick if they wanted more information. And We've gotten 3 leads on it already, and it was just put up a couple days ago. And one of the leads we went to visit today, and she is one of our new members that we were able to gain
All right.
from this. So I think the Facebook campaign continues through November 3rd, but I think I've learned enough about it that I'll be able to carry on something similar once it's over.
That's good. When you visited the appointment, what did you talk to them? How did you, get to know them? How did you talk to them?
Well, at least with our group, the KI folks kind of initiated the conversation.
Okay.
What do you know about Kiwanis? What would you like to see a Kiwanis group do in your community to help your community? And then we sort of talked about Kiwanis, the family, and then we got down to our club
Okay.
and what our club does. And so it was very easy. It was really much easier
That you thought.
than I thought it would be.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I think having the people from KI doing that groundbreaking kind of interviewing, I think that I was very impressive with the people that we were talking to.
Okay.
Because these are people that their dog's not in this fight, and,
Right,
and
right.
yet they're out there helping, and I think that's a good sign.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think they need to continue to do that.
Our sessions unfolded a little bit differently. On the way out to Greenwood, the governors-elect who were accompanying me, there were 3, they kind of decided who would be giving the presentation to which of the 3 people we were going to visit.
Oh.
But once we got there, we all started talking, sharing examples and the anecdotes, and we kind of fed off each other.
Yes.
And we kind of melded it as a team. And I think the one thing that brought us all together was Kiwanis and our experiences with Kiwanis. It was almost as if we had known each other for a long time, although this morning was the first time I had met any of the 3. So I enjoyed that, and I think I'll be more confident when I go out on my own now, just by watching them
Right.
and how they interact. So
Yes.
it was a good experience for me.
Yes.
And if you are to advise some club who might be right now hesitant to do the boost, what would you say to them?
Do it.
There you go.
Do it.
Yes.
And
By all means,
I
do
can
it.
see that even afterwards, there's just no reason why we can't kind of follow that same general
Right.
Oh, yeah.
format, and that getting leads, people that we think would have a heart for Kiwanis, and making the appointment and going out and talking with them about Kiwanis, having your materials ready. And it'd be nice if you could take your lieutenant governor,
Sure.
or maybe a club president from another,
Yeah.
or your
Yeah,
governor,
yes, I'll be
or a club president from another club.
Yes.
That there's no reason to not kind of expand your own little group, or even 2 or 3 members of your own group who are
Yeah.
enthusiastic about your club.
Did you think it was important for the prospects to hear about the big picture of Kiwanis before we get
Yes.
into the club
Yes.
level?
Right.
Yes,
Right.
I think a lot of them, at least my experience was, they had heard of Kiwanis. They knew we were a group that, a lot of them even knew that we worked with children, but they didn't know about the Kiwanis family. They had no idea that whole umbrella. And some of them have heard about Key Club, some had not.
Right.
But that was the big eye opener for me, is how few of them understood the whole picture, and I felt like that was a good thing for them to be aware of.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
That helped pique their interest too.
Yes.
Okay.
To see that we're not just the Greenwood Club, we're this
Right.
big organization doing a lot of good all over the United States, all over the world. And I think that kind of I think it impressed them anyway.
All right. Any other word of advice for?
Just if you're any other club out there is given the opportunity to do this, do it.
Oh,
absolutely.
And also, I think you mentioned that for the appointments, you want to have in certain time, but if they are not available, do it when they
Do it-
can.
Do it when they can,
Yes.
yeah, it doesn't have to be
Yes.
done,
Yes.
now we've got the technique.
Hmm.
Now we can carry on and do those appointments and continue and probably that ought to be something we do constantly as somebody, just kind of going through those lists. and
Or a
you know,
yearly, like
I know
a
this
yearly
guy.
thing that we plan,
Yeah.
that this is the week we're gonna,
But just be aware of the breaks, right?
yes.
Yes, yeah.
But
Yeah, that was a problem,
But-
because for all three of the groups, because
Mhm.
our group was fall break at one time, and the next
Last
week it
week.
was the other two
Mhm.
And,
groups that were
yeah,
fall
this
break,
week
so.
Yeah.
for them, and last week
yeah.
for us, yeah.
but still, you got a good number of prospects
Still,
and
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
potential
Yeah.
2-3 new members, so
Yes.
it's good.
Mhm.
All right, well,
Okay.
thank you so much.
Well, you're
Very
very
good.
welcome.
Mhm.
All right.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Taka.
Okay.